A Category 5 monster is barreling toward a small South Carolina town. Most people evacuate. A few don't. One young woman battles crippling fear of the outside world after losing her mom. A very pregnant woman tries to drive out but gets caught when the roads close. 3 foster kids are stuck with neglectful guardians who refuse to leave. The storm hits harder than anyone expected. Levees break. Water surges through streets, homes, cars, everything. And that's when the real horror begins. The flood doesn't just destroy, it brings something far deadlier with it. Hungry bull sharks, pulled inland by the surge, now swimming freely where people used to walk. You hear screams echoing off flooded houses. You see shadows moving under the surface. And you realize, the storm might kill you, but the things in the water will make sure you suffer first. The water is rising fast. A pregnant woman is trapped inside her car, windows cracking under the pressure, blood from a wrecked meat truck turning the flood red. 2 guys in a small boat try to reach her. They paddle hard through the chaos, calling out, thinking they're heroes. Then the water explodes around them. Fins everywhere. Jaws snapping. Screams cut short as the sharks tear through them in seconds. The trucker tries to escape his cab, too late. 1 bite and he's gone. The camera doesn't hold back. You see the frenzy up close, the thrashing, the blood mixing with rain. And the woman inside the car? She's watching it all, realizing help isn't coming. She's completely alone, unless someone finds the courage to step outside and face the nightmare. From an upstairs window, a terrified teenager watches the horror unfold. She hasn't left her house in months. Panic attacks rule her life. But she sees the pregnant woman fighting for her life in that sinking car. Something inside her snaps. She grabs whatever she can and forces herself out into the storm. The rain pounds her face. Debris flies past. Sharks circle just below the surface. Every step through the floodwater feels like stepping into a grave. She reaches the car just as the sharks close in again. Metal groans. Water rushes in. She pulls the woman free at the last second, both of them gasping for air as they fight their way back to higher ground. But the house they reach isn't safe for long. The flood keeps rising. And the predators keep following. Meanwhile, across town, 3 foster siblings are fighting their own battle. Their guardians ignored every warning, forcing them to ride out the storm in a house that's now becoming an aquarium from hell. The foster dad and mom head to the garage for supplies. Big mistake. Sharks flood in through the broken doors. 1 brutal attack later and the adults are gone, ripped apart right in front of the kids. Now it's just 3 terrified children standing on kitchen counters while bull sharks patrol the living room like it's their new hunting ground. They're smart, though. They start building traps, furniture barricades, even homemade explosives from stuff they find in the house. The tension is unbearable. Every splash could be the last sound you hear. You root for these kids harder than any action hero because they're just trying to survive the impossible. The 2 women make it back to the teen's house, but the water is relentless. It climbs the stairs, smashes windows, turns every room into a death trap. They board up doors, climb higher, but the sharks don't stop. 1 massive bull shark crashes through a window, thrashing wildly, jaws wide open. The women fight back with whatever they can grab, poles, furniture, pure desperation. The camera shakes with the chaos. Water sprays everywhere. You feel the panic in your chest. And just when you think they might have a second to breathe, the pregnant woman goes into labor. Right there. In the middle of a shark-infested flood. The pain, the fear, the blood in the water, it's all too real. 1 wrong move and it's over for both of them and the unborn baby. The foster kids aren't giving up either. With sharks circling their feet, they rig up a crazy plan using old dynamite they found in the basement. They lure the predators into position, light the fuse, and boom, the house shakes as explosions rip through the water. Debris flies. Sharks thrash and die in the blast. It's insane, over the top, and exactly what you want in a movie like this. But the victory is short-lived. The house starts collapsing from all the damage. The kids have to make a run for it through flooded streets, dodging more fins, praying they reach higher ground before the whole place comes down on top of them. You're on the edge of your seat the entire time, cheering for these unlikely heroes who refuse to be victims. The pregnant woman can't hold back anymore. Labor hits full force while the house literally falls apart around them. She gives birth right there in the rising water, screaming in pain as the teen helps deliver the baby. Blood hits the flood. And the sharks go absolutely feral. A massive bull shark charges straight at them, jaws snapping inches from the newborn. It looks like the end. But then, out of nowhere, something even bigger appears. A huge pregnant great white, the one the marine biologist uncle had been tracking the whole time, turns the tables. It attacks the bull shark with savage force, protecting the women and the baby in one of the most unforgettable moments you'll see all year. The camera captures every thrash, every bite, every splash of blood and water. It's brutal, emotional, and completely epic. The uncle finally arrives by boat with a rescue team, just in time to pull everyone out of the wreckage. The survivors stand together on higher ground, exhausted, soaked, but alive. They look out over what's left of the town, destroyed houses, floating debris, the storm slowly dying down. But as the camera pulls back, you see another weather system forming on the radar in the distance. The nightmare might not be over. The screen fades, leaving you breathless, wondering how anyone could survive something like that, and whether you'd have what it takes if it happened to you. If your mind is exploding right now, drop the name of this movie in the comments below. Which scene wrecked you the most? Like, subscribe to Cine Depth, and turn on notifications for the next insane recap. See you in the next storm.